In this video, we're going to do the final assembly of the platform bed. Now, because all of the components were cut on the CNC, they fit together perfectly. So let's go ahead and show you how we're going to assemble this, and then we'll step into the room and put it all together. The first thing that we're going to do is, of course, put the legs or the feet down. These have what's called a castle joint in it, and two of the sides are, of course, have this graceful curve, but the other two sides are just square and flat. Once you've got these put in place, we're going to set these two rails in, and these have the notches at the top, so we'll put those in first, and then you put these rails in, and they all lock together. Now, these are not permanently screwed into the legs or anything. They just fit nicely into that castle joint, so it's easy to take this piece apart at any time. But you'll notice right here in these rails, even though they're not fastened to the legs, there are holes here. Again, cut on the CNC, so they're perfect. And when you go to put the rails on, the platform, not the rails, but you put the platforms on, we'll run some screws up from underneath here and secure all of those rails together. Okay. At that point, we're going to flip around to the back side, and you notice there's actually a hole pattern under here as well, so that we can take now and put these two rails in for the headboard. And then we're going to take and put this bottom piece on, and then the second piece, and finally this arch piece is what you're going to see above the bedding when it's all assembled and put together. So it's going to be a very simple design and very clean, very easy. I like that. Okay, now at this point we're going to put the slats in, so we'll need these pieces attached, and again there's a hole pattern that bolts right into the rails. And then we're going to put these, they just slide in. There's nothing that secures these other than they just slide into place. And then we're going to go ahead and put the slats in. Again, we don't screw those down or do anything like that. Just set them into the notches that are all cut out on the CNC, so everything fits together perfectly. And at this point, we're ready to go ahead and put the bedding on. And that'll finish it. And this is the sequence we're going to do now in the room, so you can see this in the real setting. Let's do that now. So before we go assemble the bed, let's talk a little bit about the finish. Now, the material is extremely hard and very, very dense. And so I used an 80 grit to sand it, and then I went to 120. I didn't want to go any higher than that because this wood is so hard I didn't think the oil would soak in if I sanded it too smooth. So we stopped at 120. Once we had that, we have, of course, a lot of options on the finishes we want to use, or we can use. And we decided to go with a product called Simple Finish from Maker Brand Co. We'll put a link in the description below. So you can see the difference here between the raw wood and the finish. It turned out beautiful, and it's really simple to apply. So all we'll do is you can use a brush or a rag. I actually originally used a brush, but I'll just show you we can do the same thing with just a rag. Just wipe it on here, like so. And then you'll want to let it just sit for about 10 minutes. At that point, we'd come back in and apply a little bit more oil, a second coat. Let the first one soak in for about 10, and then let this second coat soak in for about 10 minutes as well. At that point, you go ahead and just wipe it really clean. And I let it sit for just a minute, and some of the oil actually came back out, and so I wiped it a second time to give us this beautiful finish. Well, now that we have the wood all finished, we let it sit for about a day to cure, and really dry, and check to make sure there was no wet oil left on. Wipe it down really clean. And so now we're ready to go ahead and assemble the bed. So let's go do that now. This is the 9th video in the series where we manufacture every single component for the bed. We use all 4 workstations. We have the horizontal workstation for cutting out all the parts. We have both the Y-axis and X-axis vertical workstations for doing all the joinery and drilling the holes in the rails. We also use the turning center to cut the pedestal feet or legs. Again, every process was done on Legacy's Maverick 4x8 CNC. Now you can see all of these videos on our YouTube channel. As you see here is Legacy CNC. We have videos on various projects, training, techniques, and a lot of other information. Be sure to check that out. In the future, I'd also like to build other accent pieces for the room, such as a nightstand, tables, and other pieces that'll really make this room stand out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Now these types of videos generate a lot of different questions. From can the machine do what I need it to do and can it solve the problems that I need resolved? To is this something that I can truly handle learning when it comes to software, or how fast can I incorporate this into my business? And many, many more. I recommend you take advantage of 2 resources to answer your questions. First is head on over to our website at legacywoodworking.com. There you'll find all the different product information, additional cutting demonstrations, and much more. The second resource I recommend doing is actually getting in contact with one of our CNC experts. You can call them at 801-491-0010. They will be happy to answer any of your questions, put on software or cutting demonstrations with the machines, and point you to additional resources, again, to fulfill your needs. Now, if you'd like to just simply watch more videos, I don't blame you. Just click right over there. I think we all know what to do. If you want to be notified of future videos, just click that button down below, and don't hesitate to give us a like if you liked what you saw. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems and allows you to say yes to more opportunities than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.